So, good day everyone. This is Federica Tura, and together with my partner, Christine Tulod, we will be tackling our assigned topic, which is about the gender and activism. We all know what is gender. It is um, socially constructed. It is based in the society and our culture, and we also have these constructed roles. So that means we have our society have expectation to us on how we behave, on we how we behave, and on how society would see to us. No, that's for gender. And for activism, it is the collective efforts to shape and transform political and sociocultural and other environmental status. And the participation, contributing in transforming social realities by engaging and taking part in various aspects of an initiative or reform. And collaboration, working together towards a goal. So here in introduction, our society advocates human rights to everyone through the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or the UDHR, in 1948, drafted to all countries who are members of the United Nations. So here in the Philippines, we are practicing, we are experiencing this law, human rights, that protects us, and we enjoy these rights, right? So we are part of, or Philippines as one of the member of the United Nations, have these human rights. So in under the United Nations, there are I guess 193 members, states or countries that is a member of the United Nations, and there is also countries and states who are not part of the United Nations, and these countries who doesn't have these human rights, so they don't have this such thing, human rights. So example to the people. So yes, there is countries who are not uh, practicing or exercising this kind of rights. So one of the example is the North Korea. So we are aware now what how that system in that North Korea. So they don't have these human rights where the citizens most basic rights are denied, and any attempts to oppose their regimes will experience punishment, torture, imprisonment, or even death. You know. So under this Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it also includes the LGBT people to fully enjoy their human rights. So also there is countries who are not support who doesn't support LGBT, and they created a law which restricted the people if they act this kind of thing, so they will be facing consequences. It depends on how big you are, you committed bitaw. So if you are engaged or in a relationship in the same sex, so you are expected to be either imprisonment or kind of persecutions. So that is in some countries. So next is, so our main topic here, main I mean focus here is the heteronormativity. So understanding heteronormativity means relating to or based on the attitude that heterosexuality is the only normal and natural expression of sexuality. So in heteronormativity, so it assumes that everyone is heterosexual or straight. No, that is for heteronormativity, and that is the standard of in a society. So that is for heteronormativity. So in heteronormative point of view, straight people are placed at a privileged group by viewing them as the standard or and normal, and anyone who doesn't adhere to that standard are viewed as lesser. So in heteronormative point of view is that there's really the straight people, they would be placed at the privileged group, no, because they are viewed as the normal and the standard. So in society there is really a this such thing called the set standard. So and anyone who does not adhere to the standard are viewed lesser. So who are these people? So these are the LGBT people, the women who are attracted to women, and a man attracted to men, and transgender, and any other people who doesn't support the gender binaries. So they are viewed as lesser because they are different from what is being set in the society. And heteronormativity has been so ingrained in our social and political institution that it has almost invisible. No. Most people unknowingly subscribe to heteronormative standards just because that is the way it has always been for them. Though, so it is true that in our society, even us, we are unknowingly practicing or have this kind of mindset and culture. Like for example, when we saw a boy using example bike, a pink bike. No, so when we see a boy using a bike, we are we conclude, we find it weird, and we conclude that maybe he is gay, like that. So we are not aware that we are practicing this kind of culture, no, because we have this kind of thing, this standard, the set standard that a boy must only use blue, a girl must use pink. But what would happen if a boy wants pink toys? So of course they are reprimanded and criticized in a process called normalization. So normalization limits a person's choice and freedom. So it's true because there's normalizing things. So it limits a person's choice and freedoms too. Like for example, for the LGBT, it means they are marginalized, treated as inferior, discriminated on, branded as abnormal, and treated as second-class citizens. So because these people are different, they have different in their emotions, feelings, and what they want, and what they and who they are attracted to. And this thing, normalization, this limits person choice and freedom. And so this would leads to homophobia. So phobia, so it is fear. So fear of lesbians, gays, transgenders. So transphobia, a phobia, it is also a fear, in particular in transgenders. Biphobia, fear of bisexual. Prejudice, discrimination, violence, and other hostile acts towards LGBT people. One example of heteronormative violence is the murder of LGBT men and women during Nazi Holocaust. So, in heteronormative violence, so there is a murder of LGBT. It happens during the Nazi Holocaust. This is when you say Holocaust, no, this is the it is a genocide. It is a catastrophe in which that time 1930s to 1940s, like that. So in that time, so 6 million in particular Jewish people are being killed, persecuted, and imprisoned, like that, including the homosexual people. So that is example of heteronormative violence, is murder. And in the present day, it means punishing LGBT children for expressing who they are or being vocal about who they are attracted to. In a workplace, being fired or not being promoted just because you are not straight. At home, it could mean being disowned by our family because you are LGBT, or being bullied by your family because you are not masculine or feminine enough. In politics, it manifests in policies denying LGBT to the freedom, such as anti-sodomy laws in many countries where being LGBT is a crime punishable by imprisonment or death. So I've been mentioning this lately, no, that there is a country who created a law. So this is the anti-sodomy law, in which being LGBT is a crime, and it is of course punishable. It could be imprisonment or death. So it could mean the absence of the law that would let LGBT live a full life, like being able to marry the person they want or enjoy the same rights and privileges that straight families have. So these are the struggle that being different is experiencing. So LGBT people, they are uh, treated, discriminated, and marginalized, you know, in a different circles they are in the workplace, in a and family, even in a family. So they are experiencing like that because they are different. They are different from what is being normal and set standard in our society. So that's and for my that's the end of my part. So Miss Christine would discuss further about heteronormativity. So thank you. That's for my part. Thank you very much for listening.